Hey everybody, welcome back to Inside the Church. Kind of, we're not quite inside the church yet, but we'll get there soon. Like we said in the last video, we want to tell you about these awesome images that represent each of the 12 apostles. And so we're going to just kind of do that. The first two you can see on the front side here are really awesome. So this one on the right over here is actually St. Andrew. You can see because you have the fish. He was a fisherman. That's where Jesus called him from. And then we have the double cross, which is where he actually, he was crucified on a cross like that, which was an X. So when you see images of an apostle and there's an X in the picture, it's normally St. Andrew. And on the right side, we have over here with the keys. Obviously,
to the left.
Oh yeah, thanks. That's why you're here. So on the left side, there's St. Peter. We have the keys to the kingdom of heaven. Obviously, when Jesus changed Peter's name at Caesarea Philippi from Simon to Peter, he said, "On this rock I'll build my church," and gave him the keys to the kingdom of heaven. So those are the two most prominent kind of apostles that we have right here as you're walking into the church. But then over here on the left, we have something that kind of looks like, I don't know, looks like tassels. Can you give us a little more?
Money bags representing St. Matthew, who's a tax collector. And we're going to go through all these 12. I know some, Andrew knows some. This is one of my favorites. It's for St. Bartholomew. Of course, you have the Gospels. He preached the good news. But this wonderful flay knife, because he was martyred by being flayed alive. So they took his skin off while he was still alive.
Kind of like a fish.
And then right behind us is St. John, with a chalice and a snake in it, representing the fact that he was poisoned 3 times. He never died from poison. In fact, he was the only apostle who wasn't martyred. Coincidentally, or maybe not so coincidentally, he was the only apostle that did not abandon Jesus.
Okay. All right.
What else do we have, Andrew?
Moving over to this side. I don't know. I didn't study up on these ones well enough to know.
That is
exactly.
James the Lesser. We don't know a lot about James the Less and James the Greater, but James the Lesser we know was sawed in half, or sawed into pieces during his martyrdom. So that's why there's a saw there for him.
Okay. What else do we have here?
Well, Andrew, that one would be St. Philip. I don't know much about St. Philip myself, but he was present at the miracle of the loaves and fishes.
That makes sense that there's loaves and fishes. We don't know exactly. We'll have to look up and get back to you about that one. There's a really cool one that we have with arrows and a spear. And
do you know that one?
let me guess. No, I don't know.
That one is St. Thomas.
Okay.
Of course, doubting Thomas, not St. Thomas of varying degrees like Aquinas. But he's depicted by the carpenter's square and a spear with arrows.
Yeah.
He was a missionary in India, and he built many churches.
Right, I love the idea of the spear because obviously we remember doubting Thomas is the one that said, "If I can put my hands in the holes of his fingers and obviously in his side, then he would believe." And Jesus allowed him to do that, so took away his doubt. And on the back side, you said this one was one of your favorites, right? It's got this big, cool axe.
Well, yeah, that one's one of my favorites because it's for St. Matthias, that's the name of my son.
Okay.
It's a total goofball. I'm sure the saint probably was pretty funny too. But he is represented by the axe because he was martyred by an axe.
Okay. Wow. So a lot of these have to do with their martyrdom, it seems to me.
Yep.
And that's how we can kind of remember them.
That's
How about
right.
this one? What do we have for this one?
That is St. Simon and a fish laying on a Bible. Don't do this at home. But he was formerly a fisherman, then became a fisher of men, thus the fish and the gospel.
Okay, and then the front over here, again, this is a front and center kind of one. So we have Matthew way over there, we have Peter, we have Andrew. This one is?
And this is James the Greater.
James the Greater.
I don't know why there's clamshells.
Okay, we're going to look into that and let you know. This one, this is the apostle that was in the boat when Peter was going to walk on water, and he was the one that's remembered for trying to place bets that Peter was going to sink, right?
I think so.
I think that's why. But who is this? Which one is
It'd
this?
be Jude Thaddeus.
Jude Thaddeus. Okay. So there's no Judas out here.
No Judas.
There's no Judas?
No.
No. Okay, so
He was the first to leave.
first to leave. So we didn't put him in the church facade. Perfect. All right, more to come from Into the Church.